125. Welcome in, everyone. Battle of the Shoals, two high schools. It's Florence Muscle Shoals. We're headed right out to Muscle Shoals. So in this contest, in this series, Muscle Shoals has owned it. Florence hasn't won since 2014 against the Trojans. How about a close game early on? Samuel Clemens to Torian Hampton for a first down. Falcons tried to hold their own on defense, especially with this smooth takedown from Tayshawn Jones right there. In the end, though, Muscle Shoals comes away with yet another win in this rivalry, 31-13. Lauderdale County stepped into a deep-rooted rivalry against Central Florence. How about the very first play? Calvin Watkins is going to receive this football from Central and run it straight into the end zone. In the end of this contest, it was Central Florence with a 1-point win at home. Sparkman Senators took on Hillcrest Tuscaloosa tonight. Weather delay that didn't slow down the Senators. Early in the first half, Keaton Williams going to throw downfield to Cameron Reynolds. Nice yard setting up the Senators for the next play. Senators fall at home to Hillcrest 31-10. Bob Jones with a win over 6A Coleman last week, aiming for another 6A win against the League Generals. First quarter winding down, Patriots getting it done on the ground. Samuel Monroe punching it in on the ground for the short yardage score there. Bob Jones wins up huge at 63-7. Huntsville Panthers aiming to go 2-0, hosting Nate Jemison. Panthers in the red zone looking for the end zone. Jackson Spencer going to find a huge touchdown here for a PAT. Huntsville wins 36-7.
The 48 Blitz Play of the Week is sponsored by A&T Automotive Services, experts in tires and services.
You can vote right now. Madison Academy, Austin, New Hope. Good night.
watching 48 Blitz OT, sponsored by Alabama Concrete.
Yeah, they call this 48 Blitz OT. I'm your host, Carl Prather. I'm joined by a number of amazing people that make this show possible each and every week. Big thanks to them. They are in this building doing some amazing things behind the scenes to make this show possible, along with our 48 Blitz show. But this is 48 Blitz OT, sponsored by our good sponsor, Alabama Concrete. We like to thank them for being part of our team of this high school football season. But this show is for you. It is for our community. It's for all of our young men and young women that are on the sidelines, in the field of play, the band members, the cheerleaders, the support systems, the fans, the moms, the dads, the grandmas, the grandpas. You get the drill there. We like to have fun, but we like to showcase those young men on the football field as well. And we will start tonight's contest from the shows, and it's none other than, I call it the battle for the shows. I need to find out if there's a real name for this rivalry. What I do know is it's bitter and it's fierce, and it's Florence and Muscle Shoals River rivalry. Close game in the first half, slowly turning in the favor of Muscle Shoals in this contest. Trojans keep the ball moving. Samuel Clemens handing the ball off to Notorian Hampton for a first down. Falcons tried to hold their own on defense, but nice little takedown there from Tayshawn Jones. Falcons quarterback on a panic, but tosses the ball straight into the hands of the opposing team. Akive Foster here coming up in this contest. It's gonna be a pick six. Cade Davis, though, did his best to keep the Falcons in the contest. Here he is going to throw a deep ball after this touchdown to Carter Graves for a first down. Muscle Shoals, though, gets the win, 31-13. And with that, there's a guy named Scott Basin. He's the head coach of the Muscle Shoals Trojans. He wins game number 150. That's a lot of W's, right? Joining us right now is none other than the head man in charge for the Muscle Shoals Trojans, Coach Scott Basin. Coach, first off, thanks for joining us. And second of all, listen, wins are hard to come by in football. You have to be pleased to not only get a win, but to get a win against your crosstown rival.
Yeah, you know, you got to celebrate the victories no matter who it is. And, you know, obviously, with them being a rivalry game, it's always sweet to get that one.
Walk us through the emotions, the excitement from your student body in and around Muscle Shoals, but of course in the halls of the high school, trying to kind of keep your team mentally focused on the task at hand, which was tonight. Do you battle that? How do you try to battle that with young people as they are excited, obviously, for a rivalry game for most of these young men playing against their buddies?
Well, to tell you the truth, Carl, it really wasn't hard this week the way we played last week on the road. And there was a soul search.
Okay. Yeah, I think we might have lost Coach. We'll try to get Coach Basin back, but he basically was mentioning last week had a very, very competitive game against Southside Gaston on the road. What better way than to try to challenge yourself to get yourself prepared for potential deep playoff runs? That's what a lot of our area teams attempt to do in non-region play, and that's indeed what Coach Basin did. But a big credit to Coach Basin, 31-13 winners over Muscle Shoals, over Florence rather, and he also wins 150. That's his 150th win as well. Coach, well, we got you back here. I just wanted you to finish up on what you were just saying, basically relative to this week, festivities of crosstown rivals. But of course, I understand that the attention was met as you all had a tough game last week against Southside Gaston.
Yeah, you know, just
Yeah, I think we lost him again. Gaston City is who his team played last week. Gunnersville played Southside Gaston last week, but that's okay. Listen, we appreciate Coach. Maybe we'll try to get him back maybe one more time to see if we can hear from him, but big win nonetheless. We moved from one rivalry to another. They just call it the River City rivalry. Much like Florence and Muscle Shoals, you got Austin and Decatur, friends, literally separated by just miles. They grew up together. They played football together. Somebody's going to walk away with some bragging rights tonight because John Ritter, in his first year with Decatur, would love to get a win over the crosstown Black Bears of Austin, as Jeremy Perkins also eyeing a milestone as well. Let's head to Austin High School, Black Bears country. First half of this contest, the home team well in control. And a lot of that had to do with that young man right there, Gavin Fuquay. He goes in for the first score of the game. Black Bears of Austin would jump out to a 14-0 lead over the Red Raiders. But give credit to Coach Ritter. Anyone that knows John Ritter in North Alabama understands his teams will never quit. They will fight to the end. And huge return there by Quaylen Hampton. Almost scored there. Give credit to Austin hustling there, the defender with wrapping his shoelaces up there for the touchdown saving tackle. But they would turn it over on downs, and then Austin would respond yet again. That was J.L. Davis to Jackson Potter for another score. Black Bears led 21-0 at that time. Austin wins 41-0. Coach Jeremy Perkins wins a game number 100 of his head coaching career as well, as they go on to get the shutout tonight, 41-0. Big win for Austin. Big win for a number of our area teams, as the most of our teams are basically finishing up their non-region play. Everyone going to be in region play next week, but that means you want to try to win their region games to try to advance to the playoffs. I gave a thumbs up because this is how this works. I always like talking to all of our young men and women that are in the booth that make this possible. So we interact with each other. One of our producers, Mike Brown, just let us know we have Austin High School's Jeremy Perkins on the phone, and we bring him in right now. And first off, Coach Perkins, thanks so much for joining us, taking a little time out this evening after a big win. I wanted just to ask you, rivalry games are tough. Every game is tough, but when you got a crosstown rival and guys grew up with each other, they're buddies, it has to be maybe a little bit of a heightened awareness to try to keep your guys focused, as so many kind of quote-unquote distractions are in and around town with such a big rivalry game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, everybody knows everybody. So, and there's a lot of crossover in Austin, Decatur, where, parents went to Decatur and they have kids at Austin or vice versa. And so everybody knows and everybody's got a stake in it. But, I mean, rivalry games are fun, too. So there's a lot of pressure with them, but they're enjoyable. And you hate that there's going to be a winner and a loser, but that's the way it goes.
Coach, how excited were you with the start from your program early on in the first half? When you're dealing with a rivalry game, so many variables and factors can happen within a game between the lines. But to come into the game and start the contest up 21-0 had to be very pleasing to you, your coaching staff on the sideline.
Oh, absolutely. And the first drive, we kind of set the tempo of the game. We had a long, I don't know how many play drive it was for a touchdown. So we started the game well. We executed offensively well. We were able to run the football and throw it. So we had good balance in the drive, and we finished the drive, which was a great positive. It gave our guys confidence. And when you have confidence, and that leads to more things.
You have some outstanding young men on your football team on both sides of the football. I wanted you to just discuss really quick your quarterback, JL, and Jackson Potter, and, of course, Gavin Fuquay, who seems like he's been around forever, but he just continues to just play exceptionally well. How important was it for some of your leaders, your upperclassmen, to kind of set the tone as well en route to that 21-0 lead early on?
Well, I mean, it's huge having some guys that are experienced and they're playmakers. JL is doing an outstanding job at the quarterback position. Had a really good week last week. He's preparing really well for each game. He's in command out there. So having that is a luxury. It makes the guys that are new and a little bit, where the lights are a little brighter than normal, the game's a little faster. It helps calm them down and make sure that they're doing the right thing.
Okay, so I'm going to brag on you because I know you won't, but you are class personified. I've said this to you countless times over the years. Man, you won your 100th career game tonight at Austin High School. Listen, I know we're in the middle of the season. You're preparing for next week and trying to get film watched the whole nine tonight as you enjoy this victory with your family and the Austin community. I just wanted to ask, man, what does it mean for you to be able to win and have a milestone like that, to win career game 100 at that high school amongst so many fans that came out to support this team and have supported this program under your watch for so many years?
Well, I mean, it feels good, and it is. I do feel a sense of accomplishment with it. It's been a long, hard grind and battle to year in, year out to sustain success. But to me, the biggest testament is to all the players that have come through. So you can look back now over 15 seasons, and of course the 15th season is just underway, but there's a lot of faces that have had a hand in that. It's their dedication, their hard work. We've had some tremendous players come through, and we've had a lot of tremendous people come through our program over these 15 years. So, at this kind of time, you can reflect back and think about those first guys, and and they're having to go through a coaching transition from the previous coach to me, and there's a lot of change, and it's the program was kind of turned on its head to start with, and built from the ground up. So, it's a testament to all those guys and how they stuck through things and how they persevered, and just every win has a lot of guys attached to it.
Indeed. Coach, listen, thank you so much for taking some time out. I know it's been a busy night for you, but congratulations on the rivalry win. Good luck the rest of the way, and more importantly, congratulations, man, on win number 100 and the coaching job that you've been able to do over in Austin High School. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. That is none other than the Austin head coach there, Jeremy Perkins. Class personified, a good man. Have a ton of respect for him, his program, and of course the Austin community, as well as the Decatur community. Coach John Ritter in his first year, he's outstanding as well. Class personified, a good man, and his staff. First year, he'll get it turned around sooner rather than later. You'll probably see some wins coming up down the line this season as he continues to build his program, much like Coach Jeremy Perkins has done over 15 years. Okay, so for those new to our program, we want to welcome you here for tuning in to us on this 48 Blitz OT show. But for those that are familiar, you know that each and every week we have a game of the week. And our game of the week didn't actually happen tonight. It actually happened last night. But man, it was a good one. Standing room only in Pisgah, Alabama. A battle of two preseason number ones. They didn't even play the first week of the high school football season. They both had byes, but they decided to play each other on Thursday night in week one of the season. Number one Fife on the road in Class 3A against number one Pisgah in Class 2A. It was a flat-out classic. Our own Cam Durr was there in Pisgah, Alabama last night, and as a complete recap.
The back-to-back champs from Fife come to Eagles country to take on Pisgah. Both teams looking to start out the year with a challenge. And early on, Pisgah, well, they had no problems moving the football. Quarterback Luke Gilbert walks in the first score on the first drive of the game. Fife, well, they had no answer after their first drive, went 3 and out, while the home team, they'd go up by 2 scores. Gilbert connects with Jackson Smalley for the long ball into the end zone. How about Luke Gilbert? Perfect passing in the first quarter. Well, the senior Logan Anderson, he had about enough. Anderson dodges a few Eagles and does what he does best. Found the end zone for 6, and Fife later tied the game just before the half when Blake Dobbins found a lane out on the edge, tied up 14-14 at the break. So after a scoreless third quarter, it all came down to the final minute of the fourth. Tied at 22 with under a minute on the clock, Gilbert finds his man in the corner. Pisgah goes up 30-22 after the 2-point conversion, and they hang on for redemption. The first win in 5 matchups. Talk to me, Coach.
We've come up short for 4 times. We were able to come out on top tonight. I'm saying it was come down to the wire, and that's what we told our kids. It was going to be a 48-minute fight, and that's exactly what it was. We told our kids that we were going to lay it on the line, and whatever the scoreboard said at the end was we were going to live with it, and they did it tonight. I'm proud of our kids.
That's awesome. Congratulations to Coach Luke Pruitt. The Pisgah community is as proud of a community as we have in and around the valley. We did want to mention and apologize for last night as well as earlier tonight. Had an error on my part. We had Luke Gilbert, one of his star players there on the football team there, as Coach Luke Pruitt's name there, but wanted to send that apology to all. But nevertheless, Coach Pruitt, good man as well. Happy for him. Has a really good football team. For those that are new or familiar with our area, the Fife Red Devils are the Fife Red Devils. They are as dominant as they come. They will move into Class 3A play next week. Safe to say both of these two teams will make deep runs into the playoffs for sure this year. Okay, back to games from tonight. We head over to Lauderdale County. So the Tigers stepped into a deep-rooted rivalry against Central Florence this evening. Off the very first play, we're going to have Calvin Watkins receiving the football from Central. We're going to run it straight into the end zone there for the score. So it was a back and forth between those two teams. Central's QB Jackson Brewer going to hand the ball off to Hunter Palmer for a first down. Tigers defense, though, would show up and show out with this formidable takedown right here. Ultimately stopping a crucial fourth down play there. But Central would answer. Tigers earlier touchdown with one of their own, with Jackson Brewer throwing the ball right into Evan Handback's hands as he dives into the end zone. This was a back and forth game. Central Florence undefeated on the year. They went 35-34. Hillcrest Tuscaloosa in town, up in the valley, over in Senators country. Sparkman hosting Hillcrest tonight. Early in the first, Keaton Williams going to throw it downfield. Cameron Reynolds, nice yardage, setting up the Senators for this play. Going to pass it to number 1 here momentarily. It's going to be Jabari Davis going to bring it in for the first Sparkman touchdown of the fall. Senators not just coming in hot on offense tonight. Sharif Smith and Jamarian Matthews. Jamarian, elite player there, going to put their teamwork together to get the sack. Hillcrest, though, comes away with the win tonight, 31-10. Another 7A team in our area, Bob Jones, with a win last week over Coleman, aiming for another 6A win tonight over a 6A foe in the league generals. First quarter winding down, Patriots getting it done on the ground. Samuel Monroe going to punch it in from the ground there for short yardage score. That would put Bob Jones up 20-0 following that PAT. Bob Jones comes away with the dub. They are undefeated as well on the year, heading into week 2. They get the victory 63-7. Huntsville Panthers aiming to go 2-0, hosting May Jefferson. Approaching the halfway mark of the first quarter, it's going to be those Crimson Panthers in the red zone looking for the end zone. Jackson Spencer going to dive in for the end zone, comes away with the first score of the game, 7-0 after the PAT. Huntsville going to come away with the win in this one. They are 2-0 as well. They win by 36-6.
The 48 Blitz Play of the Week is sponsored by A&T Automotive Services, experts in tires and services.
Here are our plays of the week. Pick it up from Madison Academy. This is a great effort that would turn into an interception for the Mustangs right there. Play of the week nominee number 2. Deep pass to the Austin receiver. Going to ride the rail there and walk in to the end zone. And play number 3, ooh, I like a little trickeration. Look at all that, it bounced on the ground and everything. Forget it. Hey, do y'all remember this game if y'all were video gamers, NFL Street? That's what that looked like. It was an awesome game. I digress if you hadn't heard of it, but it was a real thing. Here are your 3 nominees: Madison Academy, Austin, New Hope. You can head over to WAFF/Play of the Week to cast your vote right now. Voting live right now. WAFF/Play of the Week. Our voting runs until Wednesday at 3. We announce the winner during our 6 p.m. Wednesday night newscast. So we're excited about that for sure. Yeah, we can just come back out to me. It's all good, man. We can just have fun out here. We're just having a good time. That's going to do it for our 48 Blitz show. Very first thing I want to do. I do it each and every week because it needs to be done. Big thanks to so many people that are involved in this show. Man, everybody in TMP. Who's in TMP today? We got Mike Brown. We got Kay Rainwater. Who else we got? They got Clark Simcox. Who else we got in there? Got Paul Mullen. Yep, I mentioned Clark. We have so many people. AJ Weiss that's handling scores. Javon Williams out there as well. All of our, who else? Yeah, Steven, AJ, mentioned everyone. And then, of course, all of our amazing shooters. We have so many photographers and reporters that take time after their shifts to come out and help us make this show possible. We try to get as many games as we can possibly can, even if we have to go out down into the last seconds of our 48 Blitz show. We want to give you and provide you with community fanfare and more importantly, celebrating our student athletes across North Alabama. That's going to do it for our show. You already know, I know you're all excited. You probably got your barbecue, your stuff ready to go. You're either going to be headed down to Auburn, Alabama, if you're an Alabama A&M fan, or an Auburn fan, to watch the Bulldogs and Tigers lock up tomorrow night at 6:30 inside Jordan-Hare Stadium. You may be headed down to Tuscaloosa. You may be coming from Bowling Green, Kentucky. You may be driving through 65 down here. Alabama going to host the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky. Yours truly, and alum of Western Kentucky. Going to be fun to see them compete against the Crimson Tide for the first time in well over a decade. I'm old, so I've graduated like back in 80-something. Not really, but it seems that way. But that should be going on as well. Kickoff at 6. The Kalen DeBoer era gets underway for the Crimson Tide of Alabama tomorrow. So many college football games across the area. North Alabama, the Lions on the road in the Liberty Bowl, taking on Memphis tomorrow as well. We will have you completely covered. Cam Durr will be in Auburn. Yours truly will be down in Alabama. We have all of the recaps coming up for you on Sunday morning. Make sure you tune into our Sunday morning newscast as well, so we can give you a recap from each one of those respective venues. That's going to do it for us. They're probably telling me to get out of here so we can all go home. It's 10:57. We've been here long enough. Thank you all so much for watching on air, online, through all of our streaming platforms. We will see you back here next week. It's Region Play, folks. The road to the playoffs and potential state begins next Friday. Good night, everyone.